cool. I'm gonna let you kind of drive a little more today.
Okay.
But right out of the gate, though, this is kind of a little tougher to kind of see spot trend. I mean, obviously, what do you think trend is? Let's just go with that.
The overall trend, is high, but the thing is it looks like it took a turn and now it's on the downside. At least the one that we're going to be trading here in the next hour, I'm going to be looking, at least for my biases, on the downside based on what I see. This is on a 15-minute chart. And so that's given the announcements that will eventually happen. So the trend is going to be at least for this next hour or so will be down. My bias will be probably down. And then as far as the price cycle here on the 1 minute chart, you're looking at it's a pretty big one, roughly. Yeah, I don't know. These are pretty big price.
They're huge price cycles.
They're 10 to 20, and so they're. Yeah. So I don't. What would be the price cycle will you use on something like this?
Well, that's what it is. So I personally have not traded these big of price cycles. We have before, but not as consistently as it's been, right?
Yeah.
So we've had some huge price cycles, like 20 to 30. Like last night, I was in trading in 20 to 30 pip price cycles. And that was really hard to trade because I'm like, it's got to turn.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, stick with the price cycle, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to stick with the price cycle. So the one thing we're going to look at is the thing we'll kind of look at today is the channel. So what we're going to do here is there's a kind of a channel that's kind of forming right here. And so we'll kind of trade within this channel. So when it touches the top of that, we'll look for a turn. Comes down, we'll look for a turn. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So we'll kind of see how it follows that channel until it starts to consolidate. I still feel like, it kind of almost touched $1 up there. And that's kind of the elusive thing. And so there's some news events in the last night that caused it to go down. And I think that this is just the work of bad news for the euro, right? So when it starts to stabilize, we should start to see a consolidation. However, there's a major news event that's coming up. So I don't think we're going to see a stabilization in the market until probably the bankers close and start to stabilize today. So that being said, happy trading. Let's jump in. So again, I'm just going to draw this channel here. We'll follow that channel. So as it comes down, so kind of right in here, we'll start getting into buys. Now it could drop lower. So we're going to put a couple test trades on. So a couple light trades on in case it does drop lower. So in fact, you know what? I said I was going to let you do it. So I'm going to let you explain what you're doing and I'll just chime in, give you the reins kind of, so to speak, so that I think sometimes you learn better this way than saying place here, trade here, buy here, sell here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As far as the channel that you just did there, I know you've done that many times before, but I haven't looked at the channel so much, and maybe this is a good opportunity because of the way the market is, what the market is giving us, right? Mm-hmm. Sure. And so I'll wait to kind of let it come down here a little bit before I place on a couple buys.
Mhm.
I'll just put one on just so I can get my feet wet. Just put one in there.
Isn't it going to test though down here on this bottom to see if it's going to break through there?
Yep, absolutely. That's why if you're going to place a buy right now, it's an early buy and we're looking for a bounce off the price cycle. So we're at the end of a price cycle. So kind of a general rule of thumb is you never want to place a trade in the same direction at the end of a price cycle.
Okay.
So because we're at the end of a price cycle and up against a bounce point, it gives a little bit more probability to the bounce. Right. That doesn't mean it will.
Unless we're looking at a 2 price cycle.
Correct.
Trend, right?
Yep. You got it.
So when you have the time, David, if you can explain a little bit more about the channel, where do you draw it from? How long does it overcome?
Sure.
Bias?
So you can see right here. Yeah, cool. If you could just leave that view there for a second so I can draw on it. You can see like right here, it's been kind of going down, obviously, but on its way down, it's been kind of going up, touching this point, going down, touching the point, going back up. Well, that was a bad line right there. Going up midway, coming back down, touching the point, going up. Kind of, that's what I say, playing in that channel. So if it's continuing to play in that channel, you should see a turn here for at least to there. And if it passes here, then it should go all the way to the other side. If it's going to continue with that turn, right? So again, it'll break through, which it's doing right here. And that's just what it's been doing. Like,
so would
lower, it breaks, goes lower. So my thing is that it's hitting that trend, or excuse me, the channel line right there, and it should turn. We're also at the end of a price cycle. Now remember, price cycles are never 100% the same. So if this is 10, this one is not 10 too, right? So that's why to me, I'm looking for buying opportunities, but light, right? So we're light, and then it should turn and price cycle back up. So we're still in one price cycle because it price cycled up 20, and now it's going down, 25. And that's the hard part, is that you got to trade light because our price cycles are huge. So if you're in a trade, you got to have enough room to let it go. How many price cycles against you?
3.
Yeah. And obviously we're not going to let it run that far. If we don't have to, but that's how light you should be, that you could withstand a 60 pip loss and still be okay, because one price cycle back is 20 and you could trade the back. So this is a little bit difficult of a trading session because it kind of forces us to trade differently, right? So in fact, I'm going to start building in some buys. I'd put in a couple more buys on right here. And then as you kind of zoom in on the 1 minute chart a little bit, as you get that confirmation of the turn, then we'll build into a buying position. So cool. What's the confirmation of the turn?
When this candle body closes higher than this area, this candle.
Mm-hmm.
That's the candle.
Yeah. Also, it's looking for a 3-bar reversal. So I'm going to start using.
Remind me of the 3-bar reversal again.
1, 2, 3 reverse.
What?
No.
3 bars and a reverse. Huh?
Yeah.
That's a secret code you have between you?
Yes. No, a 3-bar reversal is like what it's doing right here, or you have the up bar right here, it's bringing, and you have 1, 2, 3 blue, and then this one reverses. And that's a common theme that's a common trading candle chart pattern, that if you had to go get like flashcards, 3-bar reversal is one of the most common things that traders look for. So it's not a Davism, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But that 3-bar reversal, the fourth one, green, the body has to be.
The body has to close higher than the
previous low, right?
Or the previous
candle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for all intents and purposes, we just experienced a 3-bar reversal. Right there. Now, if we have continuation with this candle, then like I said before, it could be like, nope, just kidding, and continue to go down.
Or it could consolidate, right?
Okay, I'm looking at some comments. The big comment is, when do you use a take profit? So welcome to trading, because if you've never seen us trade or me trade before, I don't trade with the take profit. And I talked about that a lot yesterday. And I said, if you've never traded with a take profit before, don't do it in an account you care about until you can get good at it. But I honestly believe, and my feeling is that I'm still have a take profit in my mind. I'm still wobbling when wobbling can happen in this market. When you're 20 pips, we're not going to be wobbling very much because of the action. I still have a take profit. It's just in my head, right? So our take profit now becomes what I've kind of deemed as an action point. And it kind of works nice because we're looking at price action. So every time you have on price action, every time you have an action point, could be your take profit or stop loss. And so this could be a take profit point. This could be a take profit point. And it's dependent upon the action of the candle that tells us if that's our take profit point, right? Now, our price cycles are extremely huge. So I'd imagine that this one would probably be more likely our take profit point. Don't know if it'll sit on this and turn back down just because of what we've been experiencing. Hopefully that makes sense. So I always trade with the take profit. It's just in my head and not an actual line. And if you're not used to that, that's more of an advanced skill set. But I'd highly, highly, highly recommend learning that skill set because it's going to help you to cut your losses by loving to hit that X instead of hating to hit that X. All right, let's see here. Robin says, shouldn't we just sell today? Like look for selling opportunities? And you certainly can because the trend has been down, but you're also price cycles. And so your price cycles are so big that your selling opportunities, you'd have to wait a long time for it to
40 minutes, 30 minutes.
Right, for selling opportunity. And this is always fun when this right here happens. So this could change price cycles right here because it's a little bit of a consolidation.
So have you found that there's a probability when it goes into a little consolidation or a longer consolidation, or is the longer the consolidation, the more likely you'll go with the trend versus a short consolidation? Or
oh, you mean the size of the consolidation?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. It's all about price cycles too as well, right? And so if you get one price cycle consolidation goes down, that's technically too.
But what I'm saying is that after the consolidation, are you looking more, is the probability more for buys or sells? Like, so in this case, since the trend is down.
You never know. So this is where I start looking at wicks forming. So if wicks are forming on the bottom, it means pressure's coming in to that consolidation. But you truly never know. And so I usually use the body. If the body crosses above consolidation, then it's starting the price cycle back up, right? So, but you truly never know on a consolidation. That's the purpose of a consolidation, is for it to consolidate and have a breakout one way or the other. And
I guess that's right. I guess I'm trying to think, because it's the trend, and the trend is pretty heavy going down, at least immediately, that when it consolidates in this market, it ought to have a higher probability of going down. I don't know if I'm asking it right.
I mean, I'm just going to tell you, this is an abnormal market condition that we're trading in. And it seems like we've had a few of these lately. So going with the trend is never a bad thing, but we're coming down on the 5 minute to a major kind of bounce point, if you will, major support area. Right. And so the markets never tend to go straight up and straight down. You know what I mean? And that's the way I always trade, is looking for those major bounce points. And I never change. I adjust my trading to the current market conditions, but I never adjust my technique. Does that make sense?
Say that again.
So I adjust the trading, like we're trading super light right here. I adjust my trading to the current market conditions, but I never adjust the technique. So when there's a signal in the market that says buy, I take that signal. When there's a signal in the market that says sell, I take that signal. So now it just broke this consolidation. Now it'll price cycle back unless it's going to retrace. So we're going to wait on this. And you got this right here. It's going to bounce.
Dave, where's that major bounce point they were asking?
Right here, just right here on the 5. And then you have another one right here. These are your major ones. Because you got a little bit of consolidation. It's coming all the way down. It's done this circle right here. And you can see it come back up.
Or it can go all the way back down.
Yeah.
I mean,
so if it breaks this, then you're into a 2 price cycle pattern. But again, light is the key here. Trading super light.
so for example,
so I'm going to put a couple more buys on right now. We'll wait for that to bounce, and then it's just kind of turning into a marching market. But hopefully it's not another price cycle. Like I was saying, this is a 20 pips here, a little consolidation. I hope we don't get 20 pips, but we should get the bounce right here. So what we want to do is we want to be able to take the profit here, come up to here, and profit here. And if it tests this, then we close those guys out. So we're building in to gobble up some profit and get these guys out. Now, the other thing that we can do, if it crosses this red line that I drew, we'll go ahead and throw some sells on, heavier sells, to pick up profit. So if that body closes, we could do that.
When you say go in heavier, so like I've got 5 buys on right now. So would I double up on my sells?
Mm-hmm. Just for a short burst down.
Okay.
I'm going to clean up my chart. But again, this is really difficult. It's difficult in your nature of a trader, because the price cycles are so big that you just like you want it to turn, and it doesn't, and it just keeps going in one direction. Then the next thing that's going to happen is it's going to price cycle all the way back up here. And that's been my experience trading the past couple of days on these larger price cycles. And you're like, oh, it should turn here. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, it should turn here. Oh, it doesn't, because we're still in a price cycle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we're kind of looking for that, again, that reversal point. Now, in order for it to come up and test these, you've got to get it to close above that. So that's why it's like important to two things. One, to not trade with a take profit, because you want to be able to gobble up a lot of things. The other thing too is you should have probably extended your stop losses, because you're only allowing yourself.
So it automatically does that. How do I do that?
Yeah, and you have to modify it on Trader Agent.
On here?
No, you could do it there. That's fine. Let's do it there right now. So
So
let's set them at, because this is from price. So go ahead and set it at 30.
so this is from what
That's your
price
take.
is.
That's your take profit. Yeah.
So we want take profit at what?
0, 30. But really, before we start trading, you should have adjusted your trade settings. So, all right. So now we're getting that moment higher. So go ahead and hit that, and let's get back to trading real quick. Okay. So there was your action point right there, where you could have got these guys and recycled these trades right here. But I think if it crosses this, then it'll definitely come up and test the top of that. So because we're trading light, we're also going for larger gains, right? And I've kind of been trading as well. It's cool. So, which it helped me, guys, if there's questions popping up. And I've been trading my account as well. I've been doing the same thing too, just putting buys on and getting out. I'm up probably about right now.
Would you throw some buys on here?
Yeah. So when I said like here, you could have gotten out of those buys and then recycled those buys, right? And then you could have gotten right back in. You can. It's kind of funny. If you look at Alveo and you look at MT4, just the size of the candlesticks throws you off.
I know. I went to put in buys, but it didn't. Oh, I guess it did take it.
I love it. I'm just looking at the comments. Pete says he's going to do us all a favor and close out of his buys so that they'll start to go up.
Right.
Man,
So
I
you
sometimes I literally, no joke, I feel like that, and it happened to me yesterday. Or last night, I was trading and I was like, okay, I'm going to throw a sell on because it keeps coming down. And as soon as I threw a sell on, it price cycled back up. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like right at the point that I threw a sell on, because it was like going down. I'm like, all right, I'm going to ride this down. And it price cycled back up. And it was like, oh, and then I started like the price cycles are just so big. So really, technically, if we're playing this price cycle of 20, it should run up at least 15 to 20 pips, right? And it has to cross this in order for it to happen. If it doesn't, could mean that we're in this kind of a price cycle now. So that's the other thing that we could look at, where we've gone away from this price cycle because we got that little consolidation. So now we can be trading these price cycles. So cool, watch your action point right there, right? So your action point, it came up, it tested that. That would have been a good place to get out of your buys of these ones right here and gotten it back in with a recycle. So watch that, cool, because that's what the market's giving you. And so by not taking it, you're limiting yourself on opportunities. Because we are trading light, you need to be able to recycle your trades. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So try and execute on that when you can. And you had a couple opportunities that we missed on. Right here, you could have done it, and right here, you could have done it. And so you could have 2x your trades and won on 6 trades instead of sitting and waiting to win on 2 trades. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Let's see. I missed Robin's question or comment, whatever. Okay, I did show that. So, did you close out?
Just on 2.
Okay.
On 2 of them.
That's fine. It's just you didn't really come up to the action point, which is fine. But now you did. Right here is where the stall was. So right there, this is your action point. And so if you closed out here, that would have been just a little bit premature.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that you're understanding the concept of recycling trades. Because I think that for you particularly, I think you have the basic fundamentals down, and then just adding seeking opportunities where you can find them is something that you can add to your skill set. Cool.
Dave, can you go over recycling trades just for my simple mind?
Sure. So the skill set of recycling a trade is when a trade hits take profit, you close out on a stall for the market to come back down, and then you buy again for it to come back up and test this area again. Eventually, the more times it tests, it's going to break through, right? So the kind of the rule that I have is on the third attempt, it's almost always going to break through, or second attempt, it still could bounce, but usually on the third attempt, it breaks through. And so oftentimes you get an opportunity to recycle your trades 1, 2, 3, and then it goes through in your favor. And that's a good day, right? So you get 1 take profit opportunity, 2 take profit opportunity, and then if it tests again, you get a third awesome take profit opportunity. Does that make sense? Any questions with that?
Well,
so cool. It's happening right now. So 1 second. So it's happening right now. Or cool. What did you do? You went in heavy, brother. I'm like looking at comments, looking at my trades. All of a sudden, boom! What did you do? Yeah. So this is not the point where you trade here. This is the part where you recycle your trades for it to come down, do exactly what it did, then put buys here, get out here. As I'm explaining what you should be doing, cool to know. So this is where you should be buying, because it failed to break the high, meaning it's going to come down, right? So and then that's where you should be recycling. So get out here on the action point, wait for it to come down, and you should have put a few more buys on that, cool. But all right, so already I can see the theme of the day is finding opportunities and being an opportunity trader, right? So now you have to make sure that it pops above that. You're in a position, because you put these trades on right here, you're in I need this to pop up above that for these trades to be profitable. And because you didn't place any trades down here, you're certainly in it. So I'm not doing this for to point. This is a legit point. This is a legit thing that traders do, right? Because you went in heavy right here, you're in a position where you have to have this cross. And if it does not cross, you're not going to take these trades. And if it does not cross, then these trades become losses, right? Mm-hmm. Because of where you placed it. And when you went heavy, you put yourself into a position where you have to get something from the market. And a good trader, or as good as we're trying to be consistent, we never want to put ourselves in a position where we have to have the market do something in order for us to have a winning trade, right? We want to always place our trades, like best case scenario, right? Best case scenario is we want to always place our trades inside of what the market is giving us. So right here, you could have put sells on for it to kind of run down because it's trading right now with this right here. Does that make sense? You put your buys on here, you put your sells on here, and we start to wobble because it's starting to shrink on our price cycles that we started with. And so the market is starting to shift, or we're starting to see this time in price cycles. Remember I said now after consolidation, that could change our price cycles. And that's exactly what's happening is the market is changing. And so we need to learn, adapt, and overcome what the market is giving us, right? And so that being said, go ahead and throw some sells on it if it pops up. And we're going to ride some sells down to the bottom of this. So if it pops up and stalls here again, it's most likely going to come down and test the bottom. But if it doesn't, so this is your action, this is your word. All right. So go ahead and throw some on right now. Throw some sells on because of that candle action. And no, it doesn't mean heavy on the sells. Can you open up this tab so I can see what your sells and buys are? Your account info tab. Thanks. So you get 11 buys, 2 sells. Okay, so you're only in 2. I'd probably, as it comes up here and stalls, I'd put maybe a few more sells on. And then I'd get out on that action point of your sells. And so, yeah, exactly. You want to filter this by your sells because you might want to just manually click those X's as it comes down and sits on that. So now our price cycles have definitely changed because that's a price cycle up. Just going to measure that really quick so you don't have to. So that's 8 up. And if it comes 8 down and crosses, we could get that bounce. But hold on and then see what this candle does. If it breaks, we'll go ahead and hold on to the sells. But I think it's stalling, so go ahead and take them. Pop and pop. And then you could get into a buy right here for it to come back up and test here. This is your next action point for those buys. But hold on until this candle actually closes, which it just did. So in fact, I got to manage some of my trades now. Okay. Now we're coming down, just a 5-minute chart. This is where it's likely going to go. It's going to kind of come down to here where it's at right now. And you can see a price cycle back up right here. If it crosses that, here's another action point on our 5-minute and then another one.
But my stop loss, so I mean, it's not very far from the stop loss there. So
yeah, so let's do something. Well, I'm just manually just pull this down to these ones because I like where these ones are at, but I don't like a stop loss sitting on a bounce point. So I'd like to be right underneath that bounce point. So if it breaks, if the market breaks, it goes. But we'll try and get out of these guys before that happens. All right, so your worst losses right now are sitting at $20 losses. So we got to find $20 profit in order to take a $20 loss. Okay. And we'll find that. So go ahead and throw another buy on just because if it crosses this, then that means it's going to price cycle up, but that could just come up to here. If it comes up to here, we're going to take these losses on a stall. So that's what we want to do next. We want to cut these losses up here if it stalls, because it could come back down. And this would be an opportunity for us to get out of those buys right there. But right now, this is a good technique to learn too. Right now is find $20. So we got to find $20 in order to fix these trades. Now, hopefully, what we're gonna do is have it pop up to make this a $10 loss and this a $10 loss. So we only have to find one $20 gain. Does that make sense?
Mm.
So hopefully we can cut these losses in half by the next price cycle back up. All right. You know, a lot of chats. I love it. I love guys being chatty. I've said that a lot. So didn't mean to say we got a lot of chatty. It's like, I got a lot of chatty chats. All right. And I am going to probably stop trading because it's so hard for me to try task, to triple task. I'm trading my own account, helping cool, and then answering chats. So I'm just going to set some take profits for me so that if I miss the action point, it will just get out. Okay, so if it breaks lower, so it looks like it's going to do, if this holds, we'll look for selling opportunities. Again, if it bounces back up, because what it could be doing here, I'm just going to measure out the price cycles. Remember, we were 9 down, 8 up, and we're into 14. So we could technically be on a double price cycle from the last consolidation. And it's coming down and testing, like I was talking about, like right there on the 5 minute. Personally, I'm going to throw a few buys on right here because I think we're going to get a price cycle back up of 8 pips. And I want to be able to capitalize on the next price cycle back up. Cool. How heavy are you? Okay, so you're not too heavy, but you don't want to be smacking trades on like this anymore. So when you put a trade on, let's just put one on right now, and only put it on possible reversal points, and then we can build into a position once we get confirmation. That makes sense. Cool. Do you hear me? Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do you understand? That's the better question. Okay.
So nowadays, confirmation is not one candle, but 2, right?
No, our confirmation for a trend, so our price cycle it's got to cross above here.
The last one.
Right. And so again, now we're still hunting to fix these trades up here. So I'm still confident that if we can get to break above here, price cycle up into this area, we've made enough to fix these trades, right? The probability for the market to do that, we're not asking a whole ton out of the market, but if it fails to break this, then go ahead and get into some sells, because if it fails to break this on this attempt, then it's probably going to go down again. And so we could get some sells, take some sell profits, find 20 pips there, and still wait for the next price cycle up. Particularly if there is room between, like, you could take a sell here and have your take profit here, and there would have been enough room for that. And so cool, like if it pops up, now, if it pops back up and tests, it's probably going to break, but you missed that opportunity that I was just talking about. So, yeah. How do I explain this? can I get you to start placing the trades when I say to place the trades? So right here, again, if it comes up and knocks on the door again, it's most likely going to break, but you could have had a sell opportunity where if you would have got in, you could have got out right there. And I know that's just a little bit, but if it breaks, that would have been a good place to kind of hedge so that if it breaks, you're not losing on these guys. And then when it comes back up, you're getting those. So that's a technique that you use when you're in this situation, is you look for a sell opportunity in case it does break just like that. So, and then you capitalize on the profit on the sell, wait for it to come back, get out of your buys, and with profit on the buys and profit on the sells. All right. So let's see. Hopefully everybody is trading light, because that was the theme of today. So I still feel like if you are trading light, you're one price cycle away from fixing and profitability. So go ahead and throw some more buys on right here. And same thing, if it comes up now, if it comes up and crosses this, well, really, it's got to cross that blue line. But if it comes up and tests that and doesn't cross, it's the same thing. We're going to get into sells there. We are on a bounce point there as well.
So the exact same thing happened to me at school. I was waiting for that last millimeter, and I was too late.
You were too late on the
sell.
Getting into sells.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, if we would have gotten the sells, we could have rode them all the way down here for profit,
right?
And then put buys on. So taking the profit on the sells to help fix the trades up here, right? So that's what we're trying to do right now. We're not trading for profit per se. We're trading to minimize our losses, right? And this is what we call like fix it mode when we're wobbling. This is what we call we're in fix it mode on these trades, and we're in adjusting mode with these trades, right? But one good price cycle a day, what's the saying? A good price cycle a day helps.
Keep the doctor away.
No, the day job away.
Oh. Prevent from having the heartache.
So this is a good experience too. So if everybody is trading light, that's the theme. If you're trading heavy, and especially if you're in Alveo, you could be hurting. I've been trading Alveo and LMFX this morning just because, after talking with Sean yesterday, he gave me a challenge. So I'm going to start trading Alveo to like more. I'm like, I don't get excited about trading your money anymore, Sean. So I told him. He's like, no, I really want you to trade my money. So I'm like, all right, I'll trade your money too. So, in Alveo, and if you're trading Alveo, I'm trading extremely light, doing exactly what I've been talking about. And I'm still positive on the day. So because I've been trading so light and I've been getting opportunities, and I'm exactly in Cool's trades. The only thing I don't have is I don't have these ones, and I'm not as heavy here, but I'm exactly how Cool is set up, waiting for a pop up. And if I get the pop up, I'm going to fix these trades that I have on with that pop up, with that price cycle up. But I'm extremely light. Like I'm only in about a quarter of what I can trade now. And we talk about this all the time with position sizing. And I say you only want to trade normal trading with about 50% of your position size. And that's what Cool's doing. So I gave Cool a position size of 4 lots on MT4. And he's only trading with about two lots, but he should be only trading with about 1 lot, because that's what we're in. We're in a market condition right now where it says you need to go light. Whenever I say go light, it means cut your normal 50% by 50%, right? So you should be trading a quarter of what you should be doing. That's the only thing I would say is the mistake that has been made in this session. Because this, you could say, well, the biggest mistake you made is you should have gone with shorts. But that is against how I trade. And if you watch Sean trade yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw Sean trade yesterday. We all were in buys, and he was in sells. It's the way you trade, right? And so if your way you trade is successful, don't try and change it just because, right? So the way I trade is when it comes to a bounce point or at the end of a price cycle, I get into that direction. And I trade light just because of how large these price cycles are, right? Anyways, go ahead, Patricia. What were you going to say?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you meant to say when you get to the end of the price cycle, you get in on the opposite direction?
Generally, but then it always goes against you. At some point, you're going to get 2 price cycles, right? Right. So if you're in here and it goes against you, that's how I trade, and that's how I gobble up a lot of profits, right? It's also called counter. The other word for it out there in the trading universe is called counter trend trading, right? So that's like the common language, is like you're trading against the trend, right? And there's definitely times and places. And the reason why, and Robin brought up a good point, why didn't we just do like what we did yesterday, where we just look for buying opportunities? I tell people, as you're a level 1 or even a level 2, that you're working on learning how to fix your trades, that the trend is your friend, and always look for buying opportunities with the trend, right? But if you're seeking opportunities as a level 3, you're able to do both. And that's how I normally trade, is I trade the price cycles. And sometimes it's going to get a double price cycle against you, and you got to fix this one up here. But sometimes you're able to capitalize and make a lot more money because of the way you trade, of the way I trade this way. And this is the way I've traded this way. I've always traded this entire, as I've gotten more consistent. And so I'm like, I'm not going to really change the way I approach the market and change up my technique and my strategy. And that sometimes you have bad days, but I'd rather take my track record and have bad days than try to change than have the mentality of, oh, I got to completely change the way I trade. Right. And again, I think we're going to get it. So we have to cross this. So if it can stay above this, then huzzah, then we're good. We're golden. The other thing that you could do here, cool, is you could get into some sells again to fix that if it fails to break above that line. So go ahead and throw a couple sells on. Go ahead and put another 2. Now what we're going to do with these sells, let's make sure our sells are on the top. We'll get out of the sells as it comes down here.
Dave, do we not want to wait and see what the news event does? Because that's going to start in like 1 minute.
Yeah. Thank you. Andrew, you're supposed to say that. Oh man, everybody in the comments. has been saying that. Well,
because like the last few days, like as soon as the news events hit, it's just like skyrocketed. So,
and that could be why we're seeing kind of some small candles.
Yeah.
Is just
So same drill as yesterday?
All right, so go ahead and get out of your cells. You can close out of your shorts right here, or do that. And I like that. We're gonna wait, and we're gonna wait and see, and then we'll fade this candle, whatever that is. If it breaks, if it breaks down, we'll fade it. So go ahead, and on that is just like it is waiting to break, hasn't yet. Now we got that break. So I'm going to go ahead and fade that on my account. We're going to wait until that candle kind of comes to a stoppage and then go ahead and put some buys on. And we'll fade that candle. Wait though, until it comes to a point where it's kind of ran out of its juice. And so I'd throw a couple on right now, and we'll see if it's going to get that retracement of that candle. And if it gets follow through, we'll do the same. See if we get follow through. Okay, so if it gets follow through, we're going to close out of the buys that you put on. I gotta look and see. I'm still kind of looking for a fade on that. So in the news event, it should come back 50%, but I'm not going to do anything until we get, and it's hitting your stop losses in there. I'm not going to do anything until we get that reversal. So it could happen right now, that confirmation of the reversal. And then a news event, you just do not know where that is going to be. So you kind of throw price action out the window. So let's go ahead and move your stops, because I think let's move all of your stop losses, because we should get a 50% reversal here.
So how do I do that?
Right there. Yeah, and just modify it by 10. No, not close shorts.
Oh, yeah.
Modify it by 10.
Sorry, the next guy's here. I just want to know if it's the oven.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, I just trying to figure it out.
So coming into here. Just waiting for that reversal on that news event. You can see that we got pressure coming in right now with the wicks forming on the bottom, but it has not yet created that reversal point.
Hmm.
And I want to know part of that dollar.
It is all over the place.
No, it's like it came up. You see where it came up and kind of almost touched the parity, and then just retreated from it. Like said, I'm out of here. Like, I held it away from parity, which we've had some major news events. If we didn't have any news events, it probably would have crossed over. And we still haven't yet gotten that reversal. And on the 5-minute bar, we're about the end of that 5-minute bar. So I'm looking at that 5-minute bar.
Yeah, it's breaking through on the 5-minute on that one resistance, and it looks like it may go for another.
Well, when you're in a news event thing, you don't.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter, right? So again, this is where light is extremely important because I'm still in the same trades that you're on. But my stop losses are a lot wider, so I'm not hitting my stops. But I will be able to fix these once I get that reversal point up to here. So if it reverses up to here, I can get out of all of these and take profit on the ones down here.
I've noticed also there's more profit on the shorts than there are on the buys.
Okay, so one of the things that we need, I think what you're noticing is this, and I'll explain that in a second, but remind me on that because it's a little deceiving, but I'll explain it in a second. But remind me on that. But I know exactly what you're talking about because MT4, it's your spread basically. And I'll explain what the difference is and how an action of a buy works in action of a. Okay, so go ahead and buy off of this candle if it does. But what we're going to do cool with you is go ahead and minimize this right here. Minimize that one right here. Nope. Minimize that one now. Minimize that one. Minimize that one. Now expand that one. Gotta hurry and do it quickly. And let's change this to 0.25. 0.25. And then go ahead and get into a buy. Let's get into a couple buys. So what we're doing is we got confirmation. If it comes down here, throw another buy on. See if it wants to break now. And your stop losses we're too short to begin with on this because remember we wanted at least a 60 pip stop loss and trading light for those.
Was
so
that
doing
trader agent to change it in trader agent?
It's just really hard to when you start getting like 20 trades on, above 10. I've noticed that adjusting stop losses on all of them doesn't work. See how it's just like Christmas lights over here? It's like it's trying to, and then it's coming back, trying to come back, trying to come back, trying to come back. And it just doesn't work. Right. And so what I do is I just change it before I start trading. And we should have done that. And so particularly in this market, we should have adjusted our stop losses and our settings before we started placing trades. We didn't. So I'm going to take the onus on that. All right. So again, we're going to look for the opportunity to fix our profit. And we're 278. We got to find a couple $100. I think we'll do that. You still have 2 more lots that you could trade with. So we're going to go into those and we're going to not necessarily max you out just to max you out. We're going to look for opportunities to get in heavier as we're fixing your trades. So if it crosses above this green line, go ahead and buy. If it comes down, I don't want it to cross there. We might want to sell if it crosses here. We'll sell here, pick up profit there, breaks above this, we'll buy there. We'll add into our position of, there you go.
Oh, leave the profits there. Don't touch it. Right?
Yeah, do not close out of your profits. Yeah. So the other thing too is let me drive for a second if you don't mind. I'm just gonna. Did you give me access? Okay, I got it. I'm for some reason I'm not able to. There we go. Do you mind if I trade for you for a second?
By all means.
Sometimes it's easier to trade than to talk.
Could you just say what you're doing?
Maybe.
Okay, like buy, sell.
You might do better just to see what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm still going to use, I'm just trying to get you away from hitting these stop losses because I think we can still get a better profit off of, or get them back to, like, I'd rather hit the stop loss here than where it's at and taking a max loss. I just hate MT4 right now. I hate the speed of execution on MT4, man. Especially when you close out all your trades. Yesterday, I was up by like $500. I closed out all of my trades and the market moved in, and I would made like $100 because I hit the close all at 500 and it moved against me and it was down to 100. And I lost $400 because the execution was so slow. Like, curse you, love Alvio. And I don't know why it's not moving that take profit or that stop loss. All right. I'm going to start trading if I can get this stop loss to go away. That is never a good sign. Okay, I don't know why. I'm hearing a lot of popping, so hopefully those are good pops.
That was me getting out of my cells before I lose too much money.
Okay, so but were they profitable cells?
No.
So you sold down here?
I sold down there, so I got out of them before because I could see it was going to pop back up, so I didn't want to end up in the same situation as I was in the other day.
Got it. Well, hey, look at that. You learned.
Hey.
All right. So what we need here is this to hold, right? If it holds, we'll go ahead and jump in, build into our position. And it didn't. So we still got 16 seconds left on that candle for it to do what it's going to do. So depending on the action of this candle, will determine what I'm going to do.
Dave, at bottom of the hour, I got a hard stop. I got that accounting meeting I got to do.
Oh, you're fine. All right. Still testing.
I'm seeing a W formation.
Yeah. Still testing that right here. So I'm still not going to make an action as we're testing. So all I'm looking for is for it to close above this. Then we can fix all of your trades and hopefully get you out with some profit.
Close above where?
Close just right above where it's testing.
Oh, okay.
So I got 10 seconds left for this body to close.
Okay.
And then it better not be a false break. All right, so we got the break that we're looking for. It's not like a solid break, but it's good enough to where I think we'll start getting that turn unless this candle closes lower. But if it doesn't, we'll go ahead. I'm going to throw a buy on. And that's the other thing. It's like I'm looking at here. All right, if it closes there, I'll do this. You gotta get that. You gotta go in and put the new template on. And I'm gonna test out Protege today to see if I just hate when I start getting this gets messy with like your profits and losses and all that kind of stuff.
Is that an M?
It's consolidation is what I'm thinking we're in right now.
Okay.
But our price cycles on this consolidation are pretty big. So that's why I'm playing buys and sells, because this is a 10 pip price cycle. Right. So I'm ignoring, in my mind, I'm ignoring all these trades right now. I'm trading as if there's no trades on. Right. And so sometimes you have to do that, like reassess the market. And the only thing that gives that runs down our next 5-minute point is only about a pip and a half away on the downside, but that's still like bad for. I can't seem to adjust this stupid stop loss. It just wants to stay there.
Can you right click on it? On a stop loss?
I think I just got it.
No, we hit it.
Oh, you hit it?
They hit the stop loss.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think if you right click it, you can
run down.
it.
It's gonna run down again.
Mm-hmm.
It just took me out some of the stop loss there.
All right, so we're on this bounce. So what we're gonna do is if it comes up to here, if it comes up and plays up into, if it comes back into that range again, we'll start peeling off some of these losses.
Come into a bounce area on the 1 hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I figured we're kind of, I mean, we're at a bounce point. Now I'm on my trades. I've just hit, I've given back what I made. So, all right, it pulls back up.
Yeah, maybe I don't know.
Is that working? Does that work?
I don't know. Doesn't look like it is.
No, it's not working. That's awesome. That's all good.
So in the beginning, before I trade, I need to go into Trader Agent and adjust those stop losses.
Well, only when we're price cycling so heavy. All right, so I'm going to look for, now what I'm going to do is a technique. I'm going to switch into a different technique to fix trades. Long as we can get, I mean, just right now, I'm just waiting for the bounce point to happen. As soon as we get that, we can fix a lot. You can fix a lot of stuff. Just get that reversal.
So on this rundown of X amount of pips, I mean, there will be a retracement, it's just we don't know when that will be.
Mm-hmm. And typically on news events, when you get a big candle like that, you tend to get at least a 50% retracement. Almost always, right? Except for when we want it to. And that's what I was expecting was going to happen here on this turn, to come up here and get that 50%. And obviously it didn't. So now I'm kind of looking at a fib level retracement off of that news event. And that's kind of how I'm playing it. But it could run down our next major. Well, you got a bounce point right here. And that's like where it's playing. It's playing right on a major bounce point or action point or whatever. So if we can get it to come back up into this range right here, we can get it to come back on trade into this range right here, we'll be able to fix all of our trades.
Dave, I'm going to probably have to live for another day. I got to get some stuff ready for that P&L meeting I got.
Okay.
Do you need your computer?
Yeah, I could still trade for you, but you need your computer.
I need my computer. It's going to be a Zoom call.
You're fine. All right. Well, let's set you up then for this. So see, where is your, I'll just go right here. So to the top of this. Do you have two monitors, Cole? Just one?
I have two.
Okay. So you can have this on a monitor and kind of look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is where I would like to get out. And if you hit this, you're probably going to be breaking even for the day. So this is probably your break even because we got you in a little heavier and these are lighter trades. So this is where I'd like you to get out if it hits that.
Okay.
If it comes up and tests this right here, if it comes up and tests this and does not break. So this, the top of this, right? Mm-hmm. It does not break, then get out of all of your trades and get in and get into some sells.
Okay.
So close out of everything, get into some sells for another ride down. Now, I would continue to trade if I was trading this on your account. There's a couple things that I would do right this second. If it fails to break this, I would get into some sells. And I get into heavy sells. But if we don't have time, I'm not going to do that. But unless it does it right this second, for it to come down to here and gobble up 5 pips right there, right? The other thing I'll try and do one more time for you is whatever. We'll see. Okay, and see if that works. So again, if it fails, if it comes up here and stalls, I'd get into some sells. Since Cool has to run, Patricio, Andrew, well, Patricio, are you kind of in a fix-it situation as well? Patricio,
saying right now.
Patricio, you're muted, buddy. I can see your lips moving.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm in a fixed situation as well.
Do you want me to switch and we can trade you and get you out of this?
Yeah. Let me do the Zoom on the other computer. Wait a second.
Yeah, you're fine. And then you can bounce.
Hey guys, set.
That's cool. All right, in my account, I just went back to break even. It's hard to trade my account, and I don't think I'm going to do that again.
Okay, wait.
So I gave back what I made, and now I'm break even on my account. So if it pops up just a little higher, I'll make some money. But I'm going to take some sells right here, like I said, because it's not popping higher. So double my position. So I've been trading light all day, so I'll double my position size and put a few sells on for a short little run back down.
Wait, David,
Did you stop sharing the screen?
Waiting for Patricio to share screen. He's just having technical difficulties. If we had the
yeah. I had to restart my trading computer. Wait a second.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's coming up.
I kind of like being in buys and sells when you're trading, like what I am right now, because when I'm in a buy and a sell, it completely takes my prejudice or my bias, my personal bias away from like, I needed to do this or I needed to do that. And I start looking at the market as to what is it really doing. And sometimes I think when are in a situation where we need the market to do something, we fail to ask ourselves, well, what is the market doing? And obviously the market is definitely in a down, but if you traded light, then fixing trades is not going to be that difficult. So, did you trade light today, Patricio?
No.
Why not?
Well, I tried, but then I kept getting buy or sell or buy or sell. So I'm into buys and sells.
Okay, let's see what you got going on here.
So sort of like the same thing. Just put some sells when you said, go ahead and do that. Let me open the control panel here.
Right,
this is an incredible learning experience. This thing right now.
Absolutely. This is what a lot of traders find themselves in all by themselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a good way to and the key is, like I said, if you traded light, like I did, you should be able to fix your trades. Like I'm back to profit now in my account because I started light. And so it allowed me to go heavy when I needed to go heavy, and going heavy that isn't necessarily going heavy in your account. It just means like if you have cut your positions to a quarter, now we can go back to normal trading, and that's heavy. Does that make sense? So normal trading is heavy when you're light. And so I was able to put a few normal trades on, and the normal layer size is to fix the trades. And now I'm back. I have all my trades are off, and I have a buy down at the very bottom of this that I'm just riding up for profit. So whatever that buy gives me is going to be all profit. So I'm just thinking this is my action point. So before I jump over to you, I'm thinking I might just take the profit of that and get out of my trades and be done trading in my account. And I didn't make 1%, but I'm about 8.8%. That's I'll after we're done here, I'll trade them, get it back up above 1%. But I did the exact same thing that you guys are in. I just went light, and I kept saying that over and over and over. So if you didn't go light, I can't help you with that.
Right.
All right. So now let's take a look and see how we can fix you.
So we should have taken some profit at the upper portion of that.
What we should have done is started to close out some of your losses.
Oh.
So we want to close out some of your losses before they become evil losses, which you have right now.
Nightmares.
Right. Exactly. So you have evil losses. You're still okay. So I'm just looking at your account size, your equity, your balance. You're not heavy, but you're not light. You're right. You're normal trading as if you should be trading. And so you don't have a whole lot of room for me to come in and double a trade position, right? So too bad you don't have a 5% max loss limit. Even still, what is that on his account size? I can't do the math.
10%.
Yeah, 10%. Thank you. Man, I'm really, my brain is like really going slow today. Like lack of sleep and just been trading. So I'm seeing candles in my dreams. All right. Okay. So let's see what your sells are doing, because I'm not liking a sell position right now. And how many sells you have on? You have quite a bit of sells on. But your sells are all, I'm assuming they're all down here in this bottom layer.
Right. They're there. Yeah.
Okay. So I did the same thing on a sell, but I got out when it fell to break down here. So now you're kind of in a, I want it to go up, I want it to go down situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not
The story of my life.
Well, it's going back to the same thing when you're in buy and sell. Now you kind of take a look at what the market's doing. Okay, so now let's get me into the zone here. See if I can get into the zone. If it crosses this with a body, then it's probably going to run up and touch that, right? And so in order to fix our sells, we're going to need it to come down and touch this. This is your action point for the sells. Okay. And if it does that, it's got to break this first. If it doesn't break that, we might want to just kill those guys off before they become heavier losses. And let's do this. Where are sells right here? So we'll wait and see on this action point right here.
So one of the things you would say that I think is interesting is that I would normally be thinking here, well, the trend is down, so I much better do sells than buys. And you were saying that you usually go against
the bounce
trend.
point. So off the bounce points, right? Okay, one second. I gotta let my dog out real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
He's bugging me.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, probably should have got out of the cells because it fell the break lower. If it comes down, this candle comes down or retest and goes to flat, I'm going to close out of your cells.
Okay.
I just don't want your cells turning into
Right, a problem again.
a problem because you're on a major bounce point. For everything that I've been taught trading is you never want to sell on major bounce points.
So are you saying sell or buy, whatever the case is?
I was only going to sell right here in case we'd get a test to come down to here and pick up 4 pips.
Okay.
And it didn't do that. So I got out of those cells, but I broke even on those cells.
Oh, okay.
And so now let's go ahead and start taking some profit. It's never a bad thing to pick up profit along the way. Right. So let's go ahead and take some profit. Start stacking profit, and you're trading with a half a lot size. I need to lighten your positions here. That's what we got to do. So go ahead and take some profit. Okay, so we took continue to take profit off of this action point because I thought it was going to come down. So it comes up and stalls. And right here, if it stalls right here, we're just going to close out of all of your buys right there.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Oh, you did that already.
I did that.
I mean, this is technically a stall, but I still think it's going to come up. It's stalling, right? That's a big stall. I still think it's going to come up and touch that and touch the top of that, or at least this one. So we could get another just push a little higher on the next candle. And if that happens, we'll go ahead and close your.
I don't like gambling on the next candle anymore. So I decided to get out while I was all green. So
well, you could.
Yep.
All right. Never a bad thing. Never a bad thing.
Which takes my losses for the day down by $30, but I mean it's better than where I was.
Sure.
So.
All
right, I better go to work.
How did you do on the day?
Down to 43.37.08.
Okay.
So, but like I said, that was better than where I was. So,
yeah.
All right. I will see you later.
Okay. Tricia, are you good to stick around? So
I'm going to stick around.
Work this out for you.
I have a flight next Saturday, so.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we're good till Saturday.
Right.
With your account size, all this kind of stuff, I'm pretty sure it's not, I wouldn't say we're go get in the fetal position and give up. We haven't reached that. We haven't reached failure point. Okay. So what we're going to do here, if it breaks here, we may throw some cells on for the run down to here, which will help get these cells out as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if it tests here, we're going to get out of your buys.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that would mean we were changing our bias to sales, right?
Short term, just if it
Okay.
crosses here, the chance of it running down to here is
Right.
low. But I'm not going to pull that trigger. So I'm having an action plan, right?
Right.
If it
right.
crosses above here, like I said, we're going to test the high of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a plan of action for either way. Now your sells, you're in 4 lots, and your buys, you're in 10 lots. Okay, so yeah, we definitely I definitely need some of that trading position back. Gotta give it back to me, market. Need it back.
I mean, just realize right now, that's lots. That's number of lots.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was number of trades. No, it's
No.
lots.
It's lots,
Okay.
which is quite a lot.
Right. Right. A lot of lots. A lot of lots.
Unintended, right? It's a lot. I need it back. Give it to me.
Right. Right. Right.
All right. So if it fails to pop, I may just kind of try to wobble this,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see. Here.
Market's moving slow today.
It's not moving slow. It's moving. It's moving. That's what's gotten us into this predicament. That's why I got to trade light. Dad, did you trade light today? Did anybody trade light today?
Maybe lighter than some, but still, I'm in a lost mode right too.
I can't help if you don't do what I say, because like I literally am now. I just put another trade on and I just hit my 1%, so I'm done for the day.
My gut feeling is I'll end up a little bit positive after, if this will continue going down.
And I just officially got out for 1% because I threw a sell on right there, but I don't think it's going to break. All right, so if it breaks here, we will throw a couple sells on. So, Patricio, that's a good question for you. How did I trade the same market that you are trading, work the same way, but ended up at 1% profit?
I mean, definitely by going lighter on everything and try and spread, I would guess, your trades around a lot less trades, of course. And just being.
This is a good learning moment. This is a really good teaching moment for everybody right now, because I traded light. So my normal layers are 4 layers I'm just going to go off of my Alveo account because that's really what I traded today. My Alveo account, I can trade at 24 lots. So I break that in half, so I'm at 12 lots that I can trade with. And with that position, I break that in half and I'm at 6 lots. I never went over 6 lots, which is a quarter of my position. Never. I traded always for between 3 to 6 today, which is super light. And then when I got in heavy, like I got in same situation that you were in, I threw 1 lot on as a trade and I rode it all the way up to here, which fixed all of my trades. And then I put another lot on right here for a ride down, which finished off my 1%. But I was always under that 6 lot position. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So for me, with this size of account or whatever, how many lots should I be trading? Because I understand your situation is very different, right?
Right. So you should be, well, you're completely over your max. And so you should be at your max on this account. Let's do some math real quick. You're asking me to do math without a calculator, and I'm not good. So
let me know what you're doing. We'll help you. I'll have a calculator here.
no, I got one. Just one second. So, okay. So 20. So really, I'm going to let you trade at 15 lots.
So we have 14.5 right now?
Yeah. So you're at your max. That's why I keep saying I need some of that back. I need some of that back. Right.
Okay.
So I need some of that back because you're sitting at a max position situation. Right. And so we can get some of that back. We can put it in better spots and fix your trades. Right. But trading light would be between 4 and 6. And that's really what you should be trading at today. Does that make sense?
Right.
Never going over that 6 unless we're fixing trades, right? You're leaving the rest for a fix-it situation. I like it.
Right.
Right or die.
You'll let us know later how you got to that number?
No, it's a secret sauce. No,
Okay.
so honestly, Sean, his percentage, I can't think of what his percentage is, but I know that I take what Sean is allowing and I basically just double it.
Okay.
So I just doubled what Sean's numbers are because he's really tight because it's his money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he has tight, but so I just doubled what Sean's risk management is. And I feel like that's been good for me. And that's what I've been doing. And so I'm doing the same thing with you. So just doubled that. So that risk assessment. All right. So right here, we got some cells we're still got to work out of. It's stalling. So what did we say? If it stalls, we would just close out of your buys, right?
Right.
So I'm just kind of seeing if it'll break on your buys. That would be awesome if we could get it to break for the buys. But if it does break, we might want to consider getting out of your cells. And so we need to get out of something, right?
Right.
So I think I'm going to just close your longs and get out of something.
Okay.
Now, the probability of you hitting these cells is not really high, right? So we got to fix those cells. And here we go. If it does break higher, it could run up and get 100% retracement off of that news event. But I would rather be in control, meaning I would rather be in control of the trades than the trades controlling me. And you've been trading this whole session with the trades controlling you. Does that make sense?
Right.
And so once this crosses over and gives me a confirmation of buys, I'll throw more buys on. But if it decides to bounce and come back down, then I'll throw some more sells on. So right now I'm just waiting to see what the action is of the price. That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we broke, but immediately that candle said not so fast. Do you see that? It broke.
Yeah, I can see it.
But then that candle said not so fast. So
Right.
I don't trust it. I don't trust that break. It could just be an exhaustion bar, just kind of saying peekaboo above the line and then coming right back down.
Dave, I have a question for you.
So trade wise, real fast, if you notice, Sean always starts at 0.10. But when he gets heavy, he changes it. And there's many, many times when he's in a situation like this where he goes heavy and you look down and he's like 20 lots, 30 lots in, right? And so that's the principle of it, is you start small. You always start small and you allow yourself for room to increase. So that's the principle. You always trade light and then look for those opportunities to smack it in. Yeah. When he's online rally, he does 0.25, sure, because he's focused on making income in an hour. Maybe I won't share that story. Nah, I will. It's a funny story. So, and he even goes higher, right? So he does exactly the same thing that I do. So funny story yesterday. So Sean's trading in boot camp and he does this thing, for those of you guys who don't know, he does this thing where he trades with the room, and whatever he makes, he splits with the room at boot camp. So, everybody walks away with like $100 or whatever and says, go have a nice dinner or whatever. Right. And so Sean does that, and and he was I don't know, it wasn't yesterday for sure. It wasn't yesterday, but he was telling me the story yesterday where I'm gonna start getting into some cells here just to kind of help fix these cells down here. So he's telling me this story where and where he was just like, the market he was in sync, he was killing it in the market, and he looks down and he's like up $3,000 on the day, and he's like, oh, I don't really want to cut a check for more than $100 to everybody that's there, because there's just only like 25 people there. And so he purposely went heavy on the opposite side to take some losses. And he's like, I'm not going to tell the room this, but he purposely put some trades on to take a loss. And he went heavy to the opposite side to take a loss. And he ended up winning, and he like won $5,000 for the day. And he's like, okay, I'm done. And I thought that was really funny. Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny story, because I did something similar, because I was trading my demo account, and I was on MT4, and I was getting bored of it, just trading the demo. I was waiting for my live account to get funded. And Cool is trading a demo too. And Cool I'm like, how'd you do? He's like, I got to restart. I blew my demo up. And I'm like, how'd you do that? And kind of walk through. And then I was like up to like $50,000 in my demo. Oh. I'm like, okay, after that call with Cool, I'm going to show him how to blow up an account, and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to probably post it, how to blow up an account. And I'm like, I bet a lot of people would see that. And so I just put like 100 lots on, and I'm like, okay, guys, this is how you blow up an account. And I put 100 lots on, and I won, and I like almost like made $25,000 on that move of trying to blow my account up. Now it's a demo account, but that video has never surfaced, and I destroyed the video of all evidence, because that is not how you trade. I didn't want people saying, oh, that's how you trade. Right.
Approach it like I want to blow my account.
Yes, that's exactly what was it, Josh earlier, the Josh method.
Right.
Where, or was it Pete? I think it was Pete, where he put trades on in the opposite direction so that it would turn or whatever, go away from him.
Right. Right.
Yeah, just change the title of the video. Yeah, if that video surfaced and I changed the title of like make 25,000 in 2 minutes, whatever, I would get ripped so hard by everybody, because you should never trade like that. So destroy the evidence. All right, so here we go. I'm getting some cells on. If it pops down here, that's good. I probably should have gone a little heavier on those. I just didn't know if we were going to pop up and write that. But if that's the case, hey, you're still only $23 negative on the day. Did you?
Right.
Positive? Oh, you were positive.
Yeah, I was.
Before the news event. Got it.
Right.
Okay, so we're not really asking for a huge fix here. All right, so if this action candle doesn't break above that, we'll double our position to kind of get you out a little quicker. So I think I'm just going to do this, not double the trades. To get in here if it doesn't break above. Just remember, we gave ourselves some room.
Mm-hmm.
We gave ourselves all those trades back on the buy side.
Right.
We gave those all of it back to us, remember? And so now we can control the trades, right? We're controlling these trades. These trades we're not controlling, but these ones we are, right? And I always like to be in a position of I'm in control instead of the market's in control.
I guess that's going to be my big lesson for the day. Exactly that. And if you can explain later a little bit more exhaustion bar.
Sure. Break above that. Always when I'm heavy on a layer stack, like for the size of the account, I'm feeling okay. But whenever I'm in heavy, like on a fix it situation, I'll get in heavier than normal. And I'm very, very cognizant of getting out quickly before it can do more damage, right? So if it bounced up to here, I would have gotten out of those layers. But if it comes down and crosses this, it's gonna hopefully I'm thinking that if it comes down and tests this right here, this right here, that should start seeing break even. Hoping, and I haven't really did the math of how many trades that you have down here versus up here, but we're in 13 trades total. I guess I could might as well look and see.
So
okay, now you're losing on 1, 2, 3, 4.5 lots, and we have 1, 2, 3 lots on. Okay, so I needed to put a few more on, but we're going to go ahead. Whenever you're trying to fix trades, ratios are really important. Trade ratios.
Right.
So I was going to peel these off for profit, but I was too slow. Too slow, Majo. And I could have recycled my trades right there.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a good recycle point. Because I don't have to have it move down that far. Just a little slow. Let's pick it up, Dave. Trade better. Do better. Trade better. Be better. Dad, are you following along on this? Or are you doing
I am. Yeah,
okay.
I'm following. If I could just have it go down a little further, I'd be all right.
And so you don't want it to have to ever.
I don't want to be that way. I know. What I'm saying.
No. You never want to have to go like far away from your trades.
Okay.
To fix it, right? Okay. And so looking to get out of all of your trades to reclaim your power, if that works for you, that's kind of what I look at it. And like reclaim the power. If the market has power over me, I have to reclaim it first.
I see.
Right. So I reclaim the power back to the market and say, now I have control. Now I'm in control of my trades, not the market. And that's the first thing you got to do is reclaim the power that the market has over you. And once you can get that back, once you can take the power back from the market, then you can start trading and managing your trades, right? Okay, so here, I was going to say, come on, just a little bit more, just down to here. I was going to say, here's a recycle point. I was going to take it, but then it just like sucked it back up. All right, because of that, and it did that move, we could see it push higher. So before we get another downturn, especially if the body closes here. If the body closes here, it's going to run up and test that. So if it does just give me a candle wick down, I may get out of these trades that I have on right here, just as a reposition, not as a profit type situation, just a reposition. So we'll see. Yeah, go ahead. This is just one of those marathon sessions that's turned into so Ed, thank you, everybody. You guys are don't need to stick around for sure, but if I'm able to, I never walk away from, if I'm in this situation, I work out of it. I just work out of it, right? If you're able to. Now, obviously, life happens, and sometimes you can't. But if you're able to, I never walk away from trades. All right. So this is where you need a worst case, not worst case, but a plan and a backup plan. I think if it fails to cross this, we're just going to pull off of these trades and readjust and take a small loss on them. If it fails to break this, where it's sitting right this second. And we'll just readjust those trades. Because our volume is definitely shrunk here. And broke through, hopefully, with it'll stay. Hopefully it'll stay. I am gonna peel off.
So David, I have a question. If I'm looking at the hour chart, the bias is still down. And even though it's monkeying around in here, if I give it time, like an hour or two, won't it eventually go down? Is that wrong thinking? What do you
I don't know. I have to look at the hour chart because I thought we were on a bounce point on the hour. I mean, I could look at that, but yeah, see, that's why I wanted to get out of these to reposition and to start pulling them up here. That's okay. If it fails, that's a good sign. So if it does not cross that with the body, it's a good sign.
So reposition, you're meaning you're going to place the cells again, but up there.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
It means taking them off because I'm feeling like it could come up and test that high. Right.
Okay.
What I might do too, there's another play you could do too, is just if we get, we're so close to just, if it just comes down to here, I would have taken off everything and gotten into some buys and fixed your trades that way. But we were just so close to pulling that trigger, it just didn't happen. Right. And so that's what I was going to do is like, if it stalled here, I was going to hit that X for everything and jump into some buys to ride back up to there. And that would have fixed everything. So I'm looking for different areas that we can fix. So if it stalls here, get out, reposition as it comes and climbs back up here. But because it failed to really break that, it means it's going to come back down and test the low. Now, does that mean it's going to test here, or does that mean it could break and come down and test that? Just I don't even know what we're really dealing with like that's consolidating up 3, down 3, right? And that kind of puts us in a bad situation for execution. So right here, we may want to close shorts. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that because it failed to do that. All right. So now we just reclaimed our power.
Right.
Right. So I love this opportunity right here. So we just reclaimed the power back from the market. I love this opportunity when oh crap, what did oh, okay. Whew, that was a sell limit. That was a noob thing. Definitely get out of that. I'm happy that this first one was not a sell, right? So we'll click happy. This is what it's trying to do. All right. So because we just reclaimed our power, and I love this. This is what I call getting a reset to zero. You have no trades on. Now what? We can analyze the market. We can go back in and say, price cycle 6 here, and 5 there. So we're in a 5-pip price cycle. If we're at the top of a price cycle, we could be buying or selling. We're at the bottom of the price cycle, we could be buying. Right. And so this gives us an opportunity to reevaluate. So Dad, you were asking about the 1 hour chart. Let's go ahead and look at that. And so, this is a major bounce point on a 1 hour right here. So that's what I was thinking. So I would not anticipate it to move lower because you're on a major bounce point. It can, always can, but I wouldn't trade with the idea that it's going to move lower. Right.
You said that's a major bounce point because of the Fibonacci?
Yes, you could say that for sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
But it's also a major bounce point just because it's coming into right here.
Right. But it looks like 60%.
But absolutely, this is 100% retracement of that move, right? So that move high, fib that 100% retracement. You get 100% retracement, that in of itself creates a bounce point as well. But that's a good catch. I wasn't going to say that, but I wasn't thinking Fibonacci, but it's a good catch because it's never a bad thing to think in terms of Fibonacci.
Okay.
All right. So we have to fix $396. When your account making $396 is not difficult. So in this size of an account.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. How come I can't?
So we're gonna wobble, is that right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Why is it not working? Come on. This is one of those stupid things. Like, I love the drawing charts on Alveo so much better. Whatever.
I've never been able to move a line I draw.
Yeah, you have to. That's what I was trying to get for you. What you have to do is you got to get into the settings of the line and like click on it to get into the settings, and it's not allowing me to do that. It's probably not allowing. You got to like click. There we go.
There we go.
And then now I'm in the horizon line properties, and you got to do. You don't want it as background, so you had it. So now you can move it, delete it, or whatnot. Oh, there you go, Josh. See, all these MT4 guys know so much better than I do. Go to options, objects. Where's options under what one? Tools. Thank you. Man, I am.
All options.
And then.
Objects.
And check single click. And check show object after creation. Oops. There you go. There you go. That's good. I was annoying to me.
Yeah.
So thank you, Josh, for that. All right. So now let's go back and let's wobble. Let's weeble wobble. This gets you some money. And so we're obviously going to need to break out of this it's going to need to break out of this consolidation in order for us to make
Any money.
in order for us to make any money, right? Because it's only moving 2 pips up, 2 pips down. And so with the spread, it's not even moving enough for us to make anything, right?
Yes, yes.
And so we need it to do this, what it's doing right here.
So our trend is still down. Our bias, we're waiting to see what our bias is going to be.
Bias for me is up, and it's been up because we're at that bounce point on the 1 hour. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And I think that if we can get it to cross here, it could run up and touch that, which is what I'm hoping we'll be able to capitalize here in the next couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If it crosses this, and that's probably why it's like the volume is so low right now. But I don't want to place a buy right here. It's just a bad spot to put a buy on. I'd rather, if I'm going to buy it, I want to buy down here. Because this is like the top, and you never want to place a buy at the top.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if there was enough meat on the bone, like it would have to cross here in order for us to get profitable on a sell.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if if it has enough momentum to do that. So sitting on our hands and not trading is the best strategy right now. But this is what I'm looking at. If it comes down and touches this, comes down, then I'll get into a buy. If it crosses this with a body, which doesn't give us a whole lot of room, but if it does cross that, then I might get into a sell for a price cycle down. So either way, I'm not going to be smacking any trades. If I get into a trade, it'll be one trade here, one trade there until I get confirmation of what direction it's going to go.
Okay.
So this is, to me, is like a test trade. Like I think it's going to break above this and run up, and I want to be positioned if it does. That's why I did that. That's why I put that there.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.
You get your out. We dropping. I like it. I'm out trading you guys. Let's have a trading marathon. See who can last the longest. It's like,
right.
How long can you put your hand on a car if you win the car?
Win the car.
I'll get some food.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, this is definitely a long session for sure. Longer than I like to be in the market, but
I've been in the market since 5 this morning.
Ooh, that's a while. I almost feel a little more dedicated to fix your account for Patricio than trading my own.
I mean, the training value of this is incredible. I mean, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah, pending orders. Frederick asked the question, would you place a pending order on the conditions? Absolutely. And I should have done that. I don't typically do that. So when you don't typically do something, I don't often think about it. But yeah, that's a good it's a good one too. So if it breaks here, I don't know if it has enough mojo to break. So we'll go ahead. So what I did there with that buy right here is this is my future reposition of this buy. So if it comes up and tests this, I'd get out of this one and be having this one replace this buy right here at the very top. Does that make sense? Now, if it goes up and it breaks, then I'm sitting pretty. But if it tests, I'm going to get out of that buy at the very top with a close to break even as possible.
What was that you were saying that you usually don't do, but you could have done?
Pending. In fact, I'm going to do that right here. So in case it does, so right here, in case it does break below, I want to make sure that I'm in the right spot. So wherever you want your trade, you click on that chart, right click on it, go to trading, and you put in a sell stop. And so basically, if the market closes here, I don't want it to hit it with a wick because that's the worst. So I usually pull it down just a little bit if I can. Just a little bit under those wicks, because that's the worst. If it would just wicks and then goes back the other way. That's happened to me. But basically what this says is that if price comes down to here, it's going to enter you into this trade, right?
Okay.
And it hasn't executed the trade yet. So you could get out of that trade at any moment without having it execute. But if it does, then we'll probably ride it down to here and do that, right? But if it does do that, and see how MT4 is just wigging out, it's like, I don't know if I can make that adjustment. So annoying. If it does, and you're in these trades, then I'm going to also do one other thing, and that is I need this to be larger than your other buys, so you can't change the volume of that. Well, that's awesome. Can't modify that. So you're of no use to me now. You're done with the trade. All right. So here we go. Let's see if we get across with the body. I was just reading that comment, Josh. Thanks. I am not a MT4 expert, right? I'm an Alveo expert. You ask me anything on Alveo, I know everything what's in Alveo, but I'm quickly learning MT4. All right, we want this to hold. Hold, baby, hold, baby, hold, baby, hold. If it doesn't hold, then I'm going to drop out of your best profit right there. Got 14 seconds on the candle. I'm not your best profit, your worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and reposition that guy because I don't want him to turn into a loss. So, and I think we're going to get that hold. Great. All right. So because we got that hold, now this next candle will confirm or say, nah, just kidding. We're a breakout. You're a fake out, not a breakout. If it crosses, this is all really we need it to go about halfway up on that candle. And we're good. And we fix your trades. You're back to break even. You got some money. Joseph's up $52. Nice, Joseph. I think if Cool did it correctly, I told him to get out there too. So hopefully he's watching. I think if I had him set up to where if it hits this right here, he would have been break even with a little bit of profit as well.
Yeah, that's what you told him to do. So hopefully he did.
Hopefully he does. But, you know, I told everybody to go light today too.
Well, yeah. Your definition of light, that's what we need to work on. Like
True. You understanding what I mean when I say what I say. For sure.
Oh my God.
I think I'm going to pop that guy out and just because he was too close and I'd rather take profit than have it come down for a loss. Right. So,
right.
And I'm not going to worry about I'm not going to do that unless it crosses with the body there. If it crosses the body here on this action point, then I'll pull those guys off for profit and just unfortunately have to do it again. And the other thing I got to keep reminding myself is your account size is much bigger than Cool's and Andrew's. And so I can trade with more, and I'm not, and I should have, because I'm just not used to trading the smaller account sizes with everybody. So we could have been out of this situation if I recognized that, right?
I mean, for me, it's better because we're going to do it on a 5,000. So
yeah, the principles are all the same, right? So right now, because of your account size, we're trading with a full lot. If we were trading, if you're trading on a $5,000 account and we're trying to fix our trades, we would probably be trading with a quarter lot. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And if we were trying to just fix our trades,
or
right?
10,000, half a lot.
Yeah, or it's the ratios, and well, obviously we're going to need to have a conversation about that when everybody's on tomorrow, because I thought it was understood, but that's my bad for assuming. What happens when you assume?
What happens? I don't know that one.
What happens when you assume is you make an ass out of you and me. That's the definition of assume.
Hey, that's a new one for me. Never assume.
Never assume, right? Never assume.
I'm gonna write that down as well.
Or the other one I like is when you assume, you commit a suicide. Okay, so I think we're gonna come down, which it just did. I was just gonna pill profit off. That would have been a good point. Pill profit. I was just say it's gonna come down and test. So might as well pill profit. Take the $100 when it was $100. When you assume the opposite happens, absolutely.
Because when you see like a round top like that, usually it could go
Good turn, right? So again, I'm going to probably pop that guy off just because I don't want him to turn into a loss. And we'll hold on to that one. And we'll see if it breaks. If it breaks, I'll pill that guy off. If it breaks, if it holds.
So when do you give more value to the bounce point rather than what was your trend or your original bias?
That's a good question. So when do I look at? I am always looking at the bounce points, and bounce points on the larger time frames are bigger than the smaller time frames. So bounce points on a 1 minute chart is not as strong as an hour chart bounce point or a day bounce point, right? So if you're up against a day bounce point, I would always play the bounce on that. One second, here, let my dog in. All right, so I think I'm gonna just hurry up and get this done so that everybody can enjoy their day. So I got a call. I've been teeter-tottering on this decision. Maybe you guys can give me some perspective. So I got a call, and I do have a hard stop at the top of the hour, which is another 35 minutes. A guy's set up this meeting. He's been setting up this meeting for a while, and he wants me to trade their institution money, and I don't know if I want to do it or not. And it's not because, one, I never trade institutional money, but I was talking to Sean about it yesterday, and I guess Nate just started trading this person's money, and he's trading Nate's trading 2 to 3 million of this guy's money, of not this guy's, his company, it's institution's money, and I don't know if I want to do it. And I asked Sean about it, and he didn't really tell me the best story. He's like, yeah, Nate's doing it. Nate's doing good. But did I ever tell you about the time that I did it and I made I took 2 million of you guys' money and turned it into 4 million? I'm like, sounds familiar, but I honestly don't remember. And he was telling me the story where he took it was a guy that he was trading with. He took $2 million, turned it into $4 million. So he's now trading with $4 million. And in one day, no, not one day, but in one consecutive loss, he lost 750,000. So he took 2 million to 4 million. Then he lost $750,000 on him of that money. And the guy flipped out on him and started telling him that he had connections and that he was coming for his life and his family and all this kind of stuff because he lost him $750,000. And Sean's like legit scared at this point. And that was the last time he ever traded money for anybody. He's like, never again. I'm like, well, that fills me with confidence.
Of course. Of course.
Well, one thing we know for sure, if a guy's got lots of money and you lose it, he has the power to sue you.
Not if you're licensed. That's what the license gives you. Right? So, I mean, you can sue. Anybody can sue. Just whether the case gets dismissed
because the moon's blue.
Right. Yeah, exactly. There's, I don't know. It's crazy when you're dealing with money. People just change into different people, right? Obviously, that guy probably had the $4 million spent in his head or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he had some debts he had to pay off, and if I'm going down, you're going down.
I mean, you end up having someone breathing in your neck, so.
Yeah, so that's why institutions are a little bit better to do that with than El Chapo, whatever.
Right.
That's why, Patricio, I'm not going to trade any of your friends' money down there in Mexico because I don't know where that money is at.
I mean, I have a friend in Culiacan that has a lot of cash.
I have a question, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Over.
I gotta.
Okay. Go ahead.
I missed this opportunity because I was telling the story. So
okay, go ahead.
We could have just fixed everything right there on that move. But I'm glad I got out of those profits because now they would have been. Now these are trades we got fixed, right? And so you just never hold on to them. And I sometimes see traders do that a lot where they allow the trade to come back. Now we're negative. I'm like, oh, that sucked. So it's never a bad thing to take profit. Never, ever a bad thing. All right, go ahead. What's your question?
If we flip over to the 15-minute chart.
Okay, I'm not going to do that right now, but go ahead and tell me because I'm looking for buying.
Sure, go ahead.
Opportunities. Go ahead.
But what I see on a 15-minute chart is a serious downtrend.
Okay.
But I see it occasionally for 45 minutes, it'll go up,
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, every time it goes up, I see a 45-minute trend. And then it goes down really good. And then it goes 45 minutes and it goes down really good. But it's more down than up. And so you're
getting lower lows. That's what you got to look at. You're getting lower lows, right? Goes down, goes up, but it doesn't past
right
the
now
previous
is
high.
we're at the end of a 45-minute upswing and it's getting ready. I see it getting ready to go down. I mean, I could be totally wrong. But that's what I'm seeing on the 15.
Yeah, I'll look at that if I have time. And I'll just kind of see what you're seeing, but it's oops, don't do that. Just trying to clean up the chart over here. I like your comment, Norma. Well, I can see you love challenges. I like to put myself into challenging situations now. But thank you for your comment, Norma. This is like the awesome teachers. Thank you, Norma. I appreciate it. I do love challenges, but I don't like to get myself into trading. I don't like to put myself into situations where I'm not making money. I mean, who does, right? So you always want to be kind of making money instead of making challenges. All right. So here is the situation. I got you in a couple cells. If they don't materialize, we need to get out, but I don't want to get out because they're kind of heavy. So we'll nurse these. If it crosses above this, right here, I may flip into some buys to ride the buys up until it comes back down, but I don't want it to get away from us too bad. So I got to figure out how to cushion this right here. Now it just did that. So now I'm definitely going to sell. And then it'll break above and we'll be like back to square one. Sometimes it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you can float and back to square one. Eventually, the odds of hitting one of them right is going to be good.
Right. As long as you keep trying.
As long as you keep trying.
I agree.
If you have the room to keep trying, right? And sometimes days of trading is like that, just keep trying. All right. I just need you to come down a little bit. Reposition these trades down here.
Yeah, I'm with your dad. I think it's got to come down because overall trend is down. If you're getting lower lows, right?
Yeah. We have no more news events, nothing to really get excited about. I mean, we do have the bankers close coming up here in a half an hour. So we should see some movement at the top of the hour. And usually that's the euro trying to pull it a little higher because they want a stronger position. And their news event wasn't so great. So they'll try to pull it a little higher as the banks are closing out their numbers for the day. I could see that happening. Never underestimate the power of a banker's close. Especially if there's no news event and nothing gonna be. No, so that's the kind of way I look at it, right? So they had the euro. There was a news event that made the euro weaker, and so the banks are going to do whatever they can to kind of stabilize their books at the end of the day. And so that's why it's called a banker's close, and a lot of traders will trade the last hour or the close, right? Get the bankers open, the bankers closed. Norma's with me. Norma's waving the up flag.
Okay.
Yeah, flag.
Even though I'm saying I think it's going to move up, I'm in sells, so I wanted to go down, but I'm just trying to get a wobble out of this.
There goes.
Yeah,
For a little bit.
Dirty bugger. Do not pass go. Okay, so now we're in a little heavy. So if it does break to the upside, we're going to need to get out and take our power back. I don't know. And the body did close. Get it to come back. It's going to do it's going to do. It's doing what I said it was going to do. All right, I'm going to start looking for buys. Put a few buys on right here as we're holding above this line. And then I'm going to get out of the shorts as it comes down. Okay. If it closes, okay, it didn't close higher. It did.
A little bit.
Close our shorts to get our power back. We're going to look for buy opportunities now.
So you're thinking it might do a 100% retracement on that long channel, right?
Yeah, eventually. I'm not saying the next little bit. All I want it to do here is to pop up and test this upper range right there, which is about 5 pips. Just give me 5 pips. Just give me 5 pips. That's all I'm hunting for. If it goes all the way up and does 100% retracement, I'm in a position to take that too. Do you know what I mean? So I'm giving myself the opportunity. Mr. P knows where I live. I like it.
So for how many hours did you trade yesterday at boot camp?
Oh, well, it wasn't necessarily trading like this. It's teaching and answering the same questions over and over. So I like boot camps for sure. I love boot camps. But they're exhausting when you go there all day long and you're just teaching and standing up for 3-4 hours and then talking one-on-one with everybody and helping them out. And I don't mind it. I love it. But it's just when you get done at the end of the day, you're just like, oh, I'm exhausted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just drains you. But again, love it. I love the people at boot camps. They're so awesome. We had a couple wobblers that were there. It's kind of funny because I was like, hey, so who's in my wobble crew? And like there's only like 3 or 4 people, and then everybody is like, what's a wobble?
No.
Really?
And they were there in my crew, and they were talking my crew up. I'm like, how do we join you guys? And so I have a list of like everybody with their email down. And I just go back to everybody here. Like, if you guys know people that aren't in the wobble crew, invite them to Discord. Invite them to this. I mean, I'm just trying to grow the channel. Also, the other thing too is I probably should have said this at the beginning. I'll just reiterate it. But the biggest thing you guys could do for me, if you appreciate this, is like whenever we get a YouTube video out, just like it and comment on it as it's fresh and it's just coming out. Like it and comment on the video. You don't have to watch it because I know it could be like if you watched it live, you're not going to watch it again, right? And I get that, but it could do us really good because I'm trying to just build the community. And so, yeah, if you go to Discord and you see the recordings, I flipped them all from Zoom to YouTube. And so just go ahead and click them, like them, subscribe to YouTube, and just trying to build that channel up so that we can build the audience bigger, right? So that would be like the best thing that you can do for me as I'm trying to bring more people and on the journey with us. All right.
What's a crew?
So a crew is like just like a crew, like a team, right, of like-minded people. So like when you're on a plane, you have your crew. Do you know what I mean? You're the captain of the pilot, but you have your crew. Does that make sense?
But I mean, the spelling is different, right?
Spelling's different. Sean did that on purpose, and that really comes from it's the French word for like-minded gathering. That's how they do it, and we got that actually when we were down. Him and I were down in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and every parade had a crew, and that's how they spelled it. Was a KR.
Oh, okay. Got it now.
So it is really, Sean likes to do things that have deeper meanings. When people ask, he always has a story behind it, and so there's always a story behind almost everything that happens. And right there, I should have got out on that action point.
Right. I think I should have.
Yeah. So, because that was my 5 pips that I was hunting for, right?
Right. Might give you another chance.
Might. And if it does, well, let's hope it breaks through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Yeah, I was telling people yesterday about Discord, and then people like, "What's a Discord?"
Right.
That's kind of fun.
So where does it take place in Salt Lake City?
Not Salt Lake. It's in a town. It's like closer to Provo, if you know where that is.
Yeah, I know Provo.
It's just a hotel in Marriott. That's where the camps are. But Sean, after talking with Sean, I don't know if he's made this announcement to everybody yet, but starting next year, he's not going to do the live boot camps anymore. He'll just go strictly online. And then he's going to start building the summits back up again. So if you guys have been here for a while and have gone to the summits, like he'll do them twice a year. And the summits are where, you pack a room of 500,000 people into a summit, So that's what he's going to start transitioning back to, and then travel around the globe so that people can attend. All right. I did not like that candle, but I like this candle. Let's hold it. Hold it. For that, I'm probably going to peel off some of these profit buggers in case it does come down. Don't want to lose the profit.
So what you did different from what I would have done is that I would have kept those cells waiting for it to come down. It would obviously have worked against me by now. I would be in problems. So
sure. And so to me, it was important to take our power back. Now we did take, a loss on those that we need to recover, but I'm thinking that now with this position size that we're in right now, we're going to need 100% retracement if you're holding these trades. And I think as long as it crosses this and holds this with a body, we'll have a good chance of getting that 100% retracement. But there's another thing I love doing, which is getting back to break even and closing everything out. And that to me is another take my power back feeling.
Right.
Sometimes it will do that. Where's my stalling right there? So it's tempting me to want to just take the profit there. All right, so I did go ahead and take the profit there because I do not believe now I believe that we're going to get that 100% retracement. I just don't believe we're going to get there in 2 candles. Does that make sense?
Right.
So I took the profit there thinking we might get a pullback to come back down and test here and we could get back in and recycle those trades. Does that make sense?
Right.
As long as we can get lower, the bar can come in lower than what we took our profit at, then that was a good move. What happened? Something happened? Somebody not liking their trades? I heard a moan. It's never a good thing when you hear that on Zoom. Oh, all right. Here we go. It's doing exactly what I thought it was going to do.
Right. So good that you took your profit there.
Yeah. But now we got to look at the spread, which is probably about 1.5. Yeah. So meaning if I'm going to get into a buy, I got to go 1.5, which will put me right back into here. And I don't really want to be right where I took my trades out. I'd like to go a little bit lower to give me a better position.
Okay.
And if it doesn't, and if it breaks above that, and it's going to run up another cycle. So I should have put some back on, but that's okay. We'll see if it stays above. It's got to test this. It's got to break above that right there in order for it to really have the momentum of the follow through. All right. So any kind of a pullback that you get, I'm going to go ahead and
do some buys.
Yeah. If it goes, Dad, can you mute your mic real fast? If it goes up to here, I may think about buying or selling the bounce because we've had a huge price cycle up with no price, with nothing down, right?
Right. 20 pips.
20 pips up, right? And so at some point, what goes up must come down, right?
Right.
And that's why I got out of those trades thinking, I don't think it's probable that it's going to go all the way back up without coming down first. So here could be, if it crosses this could be that price cycle down.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does price cycle down, I could see it coming all the way down to here or right in here. If it breaks, if it breaks this with a body. Well, really, if it breaks that with a body, then you could say that it's going to come down and test that. Do you see that?
Why that and not the previous one?
This is just more of a stronger line. You have more candles supporting that.
Right.
But it definitely has to cross this one in order for a chance to test that one.
Okay.
If it doesn't, it comes down here and stalls, then you know what to do, right?
Right.
Get into buys, which maybe I should have. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's see what kind of wobble situation we got here. Ooh, that's not good. We don't even have enough to cover spread, so that's not good. Just going to clean up this chart so I can see what we're doing here. Well, one thing's for certain, you're better off than you were
for sure
a little bit ago when I
for sure
started, right? So just looking for an opportunity to So I think you were down like $2,000 or something like that.
Yeah. So we already made up like 1,500.
Mm-hmm. Of what you were at, right?
Right.
All right. So that happened. I probably should have popped into a sell. I just don't have enough meat on the bone that it's got to come all the way down to here on a sell.
Right.
So what I'm looking for is I'm hunting for either opportunity the market's going to give me. It's either going to give me a selling opportunity or a buying opportunity. And I'm not. So if it pops up on a wick, I'll probably put a sell on.
Okay.
If it comes down and tests here, I'll probably put a buy
You
on.
do a buy.
Right. Because there has to be enough meat. TradeWise asked any idea when Alvia is going to the web. Guess what? I'm going to tell you what you probably heard a lot. All too infamous soon. Hopefully soon. So Sean, just to let you guys know, Sean's been putting a lot of his time, money, resources, energy into building out the metaverse. He really thinks that this is going to be something huge and could change the way that people interact, trade, all that kind of stuff. So if you haven't seen his thing on the metaverse, and he's sinking millions of dollars into it right now. So that's his baby. It's his priority. That's what he's working on. No, Joseph, you didn't pay 400 in commissions. Can you send me a screenshot? Shoot that in Discord chat of what it says, of what you're seeing, so I can kind of see what you're seeing to make a comment on it. Okay. So we could skip this turn right here. And so I'm going to just wait and see what this action does down here before I do anything.
Yeah.
Now, I do have to go in like 7 minutes. So the best thing I could do is maybe set you up for a trade, or tell you what to do if you're still watching the trade, right?
I will.
All right. So let's get into what you can do. The possible scenarios, right?
Mm-hmm.
So scenario number one, it breaks below here. I'd start getting into some sells, and I'd get into more sells if it breaks below this point. And I'd probably look for it to stall right here and get out there, right?
Okay.
If it breaks above here, then it's definitely going to go up and touch the 100% retracement of this guy. And we're going to see how much room that is. That's enough meat on the bone to start getting into some buys, which that's what it's doing. If the candle will hold. And if it doesn't and it retreats, and we're back to, well, if it comes down to here.
You wobble, yeah.
Well, you can't wobble in here because it's just not enough.
Right.
If it was 4 to 5, then I would be wobbling right in here. Sure. But I would also probably wobble more on I'd wait to come down, buy up, down, buy up, down, buy up, because it has more room to pop if it goes up than if it goes down. Does that make sense?
Right. And because your bias is buy right now.
Right. Exactly. But this is definitely a consolidation for sure. In 5 minutes, we'll hit the banker's close, and you should see a little bit more momentum coming into the banker's close.
Okay. So, David, what is that S1 line on the right side of the screen?
Like that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Say that. I just had to answer.
What is that S1 line on the right side of the chart?
Right side of the chart. I'm not. Oh, the S1 support level 1. So trader agent throws up support lines, right?
Okay, what they think they are?
Where they think they are, right? Of the move, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then if we were to widen this out on the 5 minute, you would see 1, 2, and 3, and then you got.
Okay.
Okay, so we close right here. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw a buy on.
Okay.
Just because I don't know if it's going to break that bottom. Mm-hmm. And if it comes up and tests the top, there's enough room. If it comes back up to test the top, there's enough room to take some profit. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
But if it does cross, I'll also put some sells on. So we'll play both sides here real quick and see which side wants to give us profit.
If you play both sides, when would you close either?
Ideally, I still think it's going to come up and give us that 100% fib retracement off that.
Okay.
So ideally, I would get into some sells, play the sells all the way down to here, get into some more buys, and then get out of these buys when these buys become
profitable,
break even or profitable for overall profit. So that holds there. We'll flip into some sells and play the down train. So I'm going to probably go ahead and get in early. And if it retreats, I'll just pop out. But I'm feeling like this candle is going to hold. Okay, so it didn't. So next time it comes down and tests that, I'll just get out of those cells.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, it breaks through. Okay, so I got you into buys and sells, and let me talk through this because I gotta go in here in a second.
Okay.
If it comes to the top of here and stalls, get out of your buys.
Okay.
If it comes to, hold on 1 second. Let me see if there's any meat on the bone. No, it's not. Dang it. Just thinking we could sell here for it to come back down and test, and then make a little bit of money on a sell. Make a little bit of money, but not a whole ton. The risk reward is not worth it. If you had like 4 or 5 right here, I would sell for it to come down to here and then take out. Right. It's just not giving you enough room. So fantastic stuff. Fan-diddly-tastic. Okay, so back to what we're looking for. I'm gonna go ahead and draw on your thing, so you'll have it if I have to when I bounce. So here's your action point of your cells. If it stalls there, get out of the cell. Get out of the cells. Okay. This is your action point on the buys. Is right there. If it stalls there, get out of your buys. Okay. If it continues to break through and get this downtrend, you're going to go ahead and put more buys on right here. And then you're going to get out of your sells right there and flip into buys and ride that back up to where this line is. And then that could be your action point to get out of everything.
Okay.
If you're profitable, which you should be. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
All right, so here's our action point for those sells. And wow, it's just not even covering the spread, so couldn't get out.
Yeah, wait for the red line, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. And it's stalling, so I almost want to just get out right here and flip into some buys. And as it comes down a little bit more, we'll reverse that, get into some buys. Now, worst case scenario, it breaks through this red line.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to do the same thing, right? If it breaks through the red line, I don't know if it will, but if it does, you just got to do the same thing and write it down. And remember, I have you kind of sitting heavy because
Right.
you're just waiting for that move. So when you trade, I would not trade so heavy.
I do 0.25, right, for that amount for that
You're
account.
back to normal trading. Yeah.
Right.
But like if we can just get a pop up to the very top of that, and you would be profitable on the day, I'm pretty sure. But we can just go test the highs there. All right, I have to boogie. So I'm sorry, guys. I got to call it. We attempted to fix it. Just the market wasn't kind enough to fix us. The key to today is trade light. And maybe we'll go over that tomorrow. But when you see price cycles and price action just crazy, like 20, 30 pips, the market's like that. It's just the key is to trade light. And we'll do more tomorrow. And everybody's on. We'll do a education or training on what I actually mean by when I say trade light. We'll put some numbers to it. So we'll go from there. But all right, that being said, thanks guys. I have to bounce, but see you guys again. Same bad time, same bad channel, and we'll have some more fun tomorrow. So
Okay,
feel free to try to trade out of this. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to see what you did. Let me know. Hit me up on Discord and let us know how you did. Okay.
I will.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.